4 lies about retirement that keep seniors unhappy, and the truth. Hey there, my friends. Welcome back to the channel, where we're all about living healthier, happier, and wiser as we embrace the beauty of our later years. I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving into something really important, something that I know so many of you have been thinking about: retirement. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever pictured what retirement would look like? Maybe you imagined endless days of relaxation, sipping coffee on a porch swing, or finally having time to chase a hobby you've always loved. Sounds dreamy, right? But here's the thing. Sometimes the ideas we have about retirement don't quite match reality. And those ideas, those lies we've been told or even told ourselves, can actually keep us from being truly happy in this next chapter of life. Today, I'm going to share 4 big lies about retirement that I've seen hold so many people back. These are things we've all heard at some point, maybe from society, maybe from friends, or even from our own fears. And trust me, I've been there too, wondering if I'm doing this whole aging gracefully thing right. But don't worry, I'm not just going to point out the problems. I'm going to share the truth behind each lie and give you practical, down-to-earth ways to flip the script and live a retirement that's full of joy, purpose, and health. So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's have a heart-to-heart about what retirement really means. Ready? Let's dive in. Lie number 1. Retirement means you're done being useful. The first lie I hear all the time is this: once you retire, your best days are behind you. You're done contributing, done making a difference, done being useful. Oh my goodness, how many of us have felt that sting? Society sometimes paints retirement like it's the end of the road, like you've punched your last time card, and now it's just you, a rocking chair, and a whole lot of nothing. Let me tell you about my friend, Linda. Linda was a school teacher for 35 years. She loved her job, loved her students, and when she retired, she felt like she'd lost a piece of herself. She told me, "I don't know who I am anymore. What am I supposed to do now?" I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? We tie so much of our identity to our work that when it's gone, we feel like we're gone too. But here's the truth. Retirement isn't the end of your purpose. It's the beginning of a new kind of freedom to share your gifts in ways you never could before. You're not done being useful. You're just getting started in a different way. Think about it. All those years of experience, all that wisdom you've gathered, that's gold. And the world still needs it. For example, Linda started volunteering at a local community center, teaching reading to adults who never had the chance to learn. She told me it's the most rewarding thing she's ever done because she's making a difference on her terms, not someone else's schedule. And it's not just volunteering. Maybe you've always wanted to start a blog to share your life lessons or mentor a young person in your neighborhood, or even turn a hobby into a small business. Retirement gives you the time to do that. So, how do you shake off this lie? Start small. Ask yourself, what's one thing I've always wanted to try? Maybe it's teaching. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe it's just being the best grandparent ever. Whatever it is, your purpose doesn't retire. You do. And trust me, the world is still waiting for what only you can bring. Lie number 2. Retirement is all about relaxing. Okay, let's talk about lie number 2. Retirement is one big, endless vacation. You know, feet up, pina colada in hand, no worries, no responsibilities. Sounds nice, doesn't it? I mean, who doesn't want to kick back after decades of hard work? But here's the catch. Too much relaxation can actually make you unhappy. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. A few years ago, I met a guy named Tom at a wellness workshop. Tom had just retired from a high-stress corporate job, and he was so excited to do nothing. He spent his days watching TV, napping, maybe playing a little golf. But after a few months, he started feeling restless, even a little depressed. He said, "I thought this was what I wanted, but I feel like I'm just drifting." And that's the truth behind this lie. Humans aren't wired to just coast forever. We need purpose. We need movement. We need something to get us out of bed in the morning. Relaxation is great. Don't get me wrong. It's important to rest and recharge. But if your whole life becomes one long Netflix binge, you might start feeling like something's missing. The truth is, Retirement is about balance. It's about giving yourself permission to rest and finding new ways to stay active mentally, physically, and emotionally. Take my neighbor, Susan, for example. She's 68, and after retiring, she signed up for a pottery class. She's not trying to become a world-famous artist. She just loves creating something with her hands. And you should see her face light up when she talks about it. That's what keeps her young. So, how do you find that balance? Try this. Every week, schedule one thing that feels like rest, like reading a good book, and one thing that challenges you, like learning a new skill or going for a brisk walk. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to keep you engaged. Retirement isn't a permanent vacation. It's a chance to design a life that feels alive. Lie number 3. You need a ton of money to be happy in retirement. Now, let's tackle lie number 3. You need a mountain of money to enjoy retirement. Oh, this one gets us all, doesn't it? We've all seen those ads for fancy retirement communities with golf courses and private chefs, or those articles saying you need $1 million in the bank to retire comfortably. It's enough to make anyone feel like they'll never measure up. I'll be honest, this lie used to stress me out too. I'd look at my savings and think, am I going to be okay? But then I started talking to real people, friends, family, folks in my community, and I realized something. Happiness in retirement doesn't come from a fat bank account. It comes from connection, meaning, and creativity. Take my cousin, Mark. He and his wife didn't have a huge nest egg when they retired, but they're some of the happiest people I know. They moved to a smaller house to cut costs, started growing their own vegetables, and joined a local hiking group. They're not rich, but they're rich in life. Mark told me, we don't need much, just each other and a few good adventures. The truth is, a happy retirement is about priorities, not perfection. Sure, money helps with basics like healthcare and housing, and I'm not saying you should ignore your finances. But don't let the fear of not having enough stop you from enjoying what you do have. Studies show that after basic needs are met, extra money doesn't add much to happiness. It's relationships and experiences that matter most. So, how do you break free from this lie? Start by focusing on what brings you joy for free or cheap. Maybe it's spending time with grandkids, joining a book club, or taking walks in nature. If you're worried about money, look for small ways to stretch your budget, like cooking at home more or swapping skills with a friend. Retirement isn't about luxury. It's about living with intention. Lie number 4. Retirement means you'll automatically be healthier. All right, here's the last lie, and it's a big one. Retirement will magically make you healthier. The idea is that once you're not stressed about work, you'll sleep better, eat better, and feel like you're 30 again. Wouldn't that be nice? But let's be real. Retirement doesn't come with a magic wand. I saw this with my old colleague, Diane. She was so excited to retire because she thought she'd finally have time to get healthy. Without the structure of work, she actually started moving less. She wasn't eating as well, and she put off doctor's appointments because, well, there's always tomorrow. A year into retirement, she felt worse than she did at her job. The truth is, your health in retirement depends on the choices you make every day. Stress might go down, sure, but aging doesn't stop, and neither do the habits that affect your body and mind. The good news? Retirement gives you the time to take charge of your health like never before. For example, I started doing yoga after I retired, not because I'm super flexible, trust me, I'm not, but because it helps my joints and calms my mind. And you know what? I feel stronger now than I did 10 years ago. It's not about being perfect. It's about small, consistent steps. So, how do you make health a priority? Start with one thing. Maybe it's drinking more water, walking 20 minutes a day, or scheduling that checkup you've been avoiding. Find something you enjoy like dancing or gardening, so it doesn't feel like a chore. Your health isn't a gift retirement hands you. It's something you build and you're worth the effort. Well, my friends, there you have it. 4 lies about retirement that can keep us from living the joyful, vibrant lives we deserve. Retirement isn't the end of your story. It's not a permanent vacation. It doesn't require a fortune and it won't magically fix your health. But here's the beautiful truth. This chapter of life is yours to write. You have the wisdom, the experience, and the heart to make it incredible. I hope today's talk has given you a little spark to rethink what retirement means for you. Maybe it's time to try something new, connect with someone you love, or take better care of yourself. Whatever it is, know that you're not alone. We're all figuring this out together. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a little encouragement. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We got so much more wisdom to share. Until next time, keep living with purpose, keep shining, and I'll see you soon.